Today I have 4 tips to help you guys come up with clever clothing line names. I know how difficult it is to come up with a clothing line name. Trust me when I say that. There are so many people out there in the world that are taking the name that you have in your head for weeks, if not months, years, and that is a very frustrating thing. I know when I started my clothing lines back in the day, every single name I came up with, somebody already had it, and I researched so much to come up with the names that I had, and somebody in the world already came up with it. So I know how difficult it is, so hopefully these tips help you guys out, and if they do, let me know in the comment section below. You already know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you aren't already. Let's go and get started with the video. It pains me to see really awesome clothing lines with bad names. Let's say their design's good, their logo's good, but then you read their name and you're like, wow, that sucks. I don't want to wear that. I can't stand by that name. And that is the worst thing. And I'm talking really bad names here, like Hustle Clothing, Empire Clothing. Those are all really, I don't want to be mean, but they're really boring names and they've been done a million times and there's nothing creative about them. I see so many people half-assing their clothing line names, and then at the end of the day, they're just like, why am I not doing good? Why am I not succeeding? And they just can't comprehend why. But the short answer is maybe your name just sucks and maybe people don't want to wear it. Maybe people just don't like what it stands for. Maybe people just can't relate to it very much because it's not a very good name. And I know this sounds really weird, right? Because I'm talking about just the name here. I'm not talking about any other aspect of the clothing line business, but really the name is the most important part of it if you think about it, because that's the face of it along with the logo. When people first see your brand, they're going to read your clothing line name and they're going to look at the logo, and those two things are going to determine if they become a fan, a loyal customer. So you got to start thinking outside the box. Anyway, I'm blabbering on way too much. I have 4 tips right here to help you guys out. So I'm going to read the first one for you. Here we go. So the first one is know everything about your target demographic, okay? That is super important. If you don't know who your audience is, how are you gonna sell a clothing line to them? How are you gonna come up with a name that they like? How are you gonna come up with a logo that they will wear? You have to know your demographic, guys. And I'm talking everything. I'm talking their age. I'm talking what they're all about, what their lifestyle is all about. What are they into? You have to know your demographic from the bottom up in order to know how to sell to them, if that makes sense. So, and once you figure out what your target demographic is, you can then make intelligent decisions that are going to help your business grow and actually make you sell. So that's the number 1 tip right there. That's a big one, by the way. That should actually be last. The next one is find names that represent your brand. Don't just come up with generic names like Empire Clothing, Hustle Clothing. You're not going to succeed coming up with really bad names, and if you do, luck's on your side, and I want you to give me a little bit of luck actually. But figure out what your brand's all about. Is it a lifestyle brand? Is it an active lifestyle brand? Is it a extreme sport lifestyle brand? Figure out what kind of brand it is. Maybe it's a comedic brand. Maybe there's funny quotes on your shirts. Figure out exactly what your brand's about, and then that's going to help you determine what your name needs to be. And that's a huge one, guys, because I see too many people with names that don't even relate to what the brand's about. A really good clothing line that I saw not too long ago on an Instagram ad was Entrepreneur Clothing. The name wasn't spelled out like entrepreneur. It was shortened or whatever, but I like the clothing line because when you look at the merch and you look at their Instagram, you can tell they have this like entrepreneur lifestyle going on, and the name matches it. So yes, it's a little generic because it says entrepreneur, but they did it in a way that's different because they shortened the name. So they were really clever when they came up with the name, and that's kind of what you have to do. You have to think outside the box. Tip number 3 is don't use common names. Again, it goes back to what I just said. Don't use common names like Hustle, Empire, and all that stuff because it's already been done before. And if you are going to use those kind of names, figure out a way to make them different, even if it's the slightest way, whether it's shortening them, using different characters for the name, whatever it is, figure out a way to make them unique if you're going to use common names like that. My suggestion is use synonyms for the words that you like. So if you like Empire, find another word for Empire, like a synonym, and then use that instead, because that's going to be a lot more unique and it's not going to be as common. Another thing you could do is just write down all the names that you came up with and really analyze them and figure out if they're going to work for your brand. Write down a list of 100 names and pick the top 5, let's say, or top 10, and then narrow those down to top 5, and then narrow that down to number 1 that you like and choose that name. That's basically how you do it. And if you do that, you're not really going to fail. You're going to find a name that you really love and it's going to have some longevity to it. Tip number 4 is common sense. It's don't rush the process, guys. Don't rush the process. Enjoy the process. Take your time. Just involve yourself in your business in every single way. Every time you rush something, it's not going to work. Trust me, it's just not going to work. You have to put energy into it. You have to really think it out, make very intelligent decisions, and that's how you're going to succeed. If you just rush everything that you do, it's not going to work out and you're going to fail every single time. And again, there's those people that get lucky, but in this world where everything's saturated, luck is running out for everybody. So you have to really make smart decisions, and rushing things is not going to help you out. So just take your time, enjoy the process. If you want to start a clothing line that bad, chances are you have a passion for it, right? And if you have a passion for it, there's no need to rush. Just take your time, have fun with it, and just follow the tips that I just showed you, and you guys will be on your way to success. And I wish you the best, obviously. So anyway, I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you aren't already, and also check out my second channel in the description below. I started a photography channel where I'm kind of just documenting my photography journey. I'm gonna start making a lot more videos on that channel, so if you guys wanna watch that kind of stuff, subscribe. The link's in the description. Also, I'm on Instagram at CharleyPangus, and you guys can follow me on there for updates, and I'm always posting my art and all that stuff. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep creating, keep being awesome. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.